Well, my name is Frank Collins. I'm 42 years old. You know, kind of born into the cannabis culture. Grew up all around it and never really left. Once things started getting sustainable around it, I got more involved. And our start was the rec farm. In 2016, when Oregon opened up recreational cannabis, we decided to take a shot at it. That's how this whole farm got built. This is a 45-acre farm total. We've only developed this half, and I wouldn't have done that with just anybody. It helped that, you know, the people that run this breeding company are close friends of mine, so there's a big leap of faith there and trust on both sides. You know, for them to trust that I can provide and bring out the fullest potential of their genetics in the field to prove that they're stable or weak or whatnot, to do our R&D to stabilize, and for me to trust that they're going to produce genetics that would produce, you know, biomass. You know, we scored on the property. Things were lining up too well to ignore, so we went for it. It turns out that, you know, the rules and regulations followed right along that are sustainable for hemp in Oregon. Started researching hemp and looking into CBD and all that before it really kicked off. So by the time it did, we'd already had our seed source locked in. We'd already had our game plan for developing this field and doing our layout. And so we went ahead and did our first run in 2017. We were a major success with it. So it actually, this is a way more sustainable atmosphere for a farmer than almost any crop that exists in the ag industry. We've been harvesting for about 3.5 weeks now, all by hand, you know, running a small crew, doing select cuts on different varieties that are, you know, earlier than others that really are more susceptible and needed to come out. That, again, that's farming organically. You're going to have some major sacrifices and losses. It's up to you to know how to counteract that and prepare for that. Either put out a little bit more or do something different, but you have to understand that's going to be there. It's always going to be there. And it's still fresh and new. The rest of the ag industry isn't. And so you would think that we'd be able to adapt something that was very similar and to, you know, have a template to work from, but everybody wants to reinvent the wheel, and everybody's local and grew up with each other, but now they're competing and beefing with each other. That's not really what we want to go on in the industry. It's, you know, it's a design for failure when that happens. So hopefully people come with peace and figure out a different strategy to run this industry, because I've already seen it fail in different states due to that. I've seen a bunch of failure in California, and I've seen a complete failure in the first year in South Carolina, North Carolina. This season will be the first season that they've actually produced, but the past 2 seasons they failed epically due to competitiveness and exactly what I just ran through. So there's more than enough to be made in this industry with this crop without being competitive. If you get out there and look around, I'm feeling pretty comfortable and happy with what we're dealing with, because, you know, like I said, it's a fresh industry on a sense of relationships and establishments and everything getting stabilized. So you have to sacrifice and be willing to take those risks and, you know, take that jump out there to see if it'll work. There's a lot of work to be done in the industry, and that's really why you'll hear me talk a lot about community and unity and, you know, people working together.